About 500 coordinators of the All Progressive Congress in 7 local government areas of Cross River South Senatorial District have defected to the opposition People's Democratic Party, saying they have found the PDP more reliable. Leader of the defectors, a senior special assistant to a former governor on youth mobilization, Mr. Abel Bassi, said they left the APC after weighing both parties and realizing that the PDP is more humane than the APC. According to him, this is my support group, Osopel support group. We have taken a bold step this evening to defect officially from the ruling APC to the PDP. Like the prodigal son who went astray only to discover that his sojourn was an effort in futility, we have returned to our great party. We have just been received a few minutes ago by the PDP, the state party chairman, and the entire leadership of the PDP in Cross River State, he said. Now, Mr. Uzo, what is your take on this? Now, one of the reasons he stated is that the PDP is more humane than the APC. Do you agree with that statement?
It's a statement of his personal opinion. What I like it to hear is defecting from the APC to the PDP, to what end is it of an advantage to the Nigerian people? Well, funny as it may sound, it's a pity we have to discuss all of these on national issues, as national issues on national television. But what I would like it or not, like you heard him say that he has to go back like a prodigal son. You now begin to ask yourself, the present governor of the state is Bassi, and one would want to could draw out a correlation between Bassi and Abel Bassi being relatives, if at all. But be that as it may, one would ask himself or herself, to what end is anybody defecting from an APC to the PDP? The PDP as it is today, is it really the opposition, like he tried to put it, because he's defecting there, he wants to make it look like it's the major opposition, as it were? Or is it the, you say if somebody defecting to the Labour Party, it is considered the main opposition in that regards? And the North, you say the NNPP as it may be. But for me, I think what we are just saying are people who do not really understand what they stand for as regards to our nation's growth. Because it's not about defecting. It's about what you people are standing for today. There's really no ideology for any of the political parties that we can hold hand to say, this is the viewpoint of this political party, these are the ideologies of the stakeholders and leaders. Everybody's just trying to show their political strength and clout. One would say 500 defectors. I would want to ask, if only in a particular region, a local government or a senatorial district, you have 500 coordinators, then you now understand the big market or the big business in politics. If all these people are like our senators who have no other jobs, like our House of Assemblies, our politicians who have nothing else doing but just to come out and sit and hit the gavel and say, yeah, nay, and yea. If these are what they do, is to say another 500 set of coordinators are going to be waiting for the government to send money for them to now share and all of that. So it keeps depleting the system. For me, defecting to one political party to another is not something to cheer about in the Nigerian sphere today. I think it's just a question for the politicians to consider if the person has the clout enough to pull any strings. That is one. Secondly, with the present Nigerian demographic, to what end is political party and population and persons? To a large extent, for me, it has little or no effect. But be that as it may, I was a former personal assistant to a governor, and I think maybe for one reason he's trying to make a statement, which I think he has made, and it is up to the People's Democratic Party that he has just joined to show to it that they are different, or they have a better, accommodating structure for people like that. Outside of that, it's just another activity of the day by politicians, all looking for their stomachs, from my own personal viewpoint.
All right. Now, looking at the defection and individual defections and the cumulative defections, as it were, recently going on in Nigerian politics, would you say this is a question of lack of ideology by political parties? Because when you do a comparative analysis to, let's use the USA, even though it's a developed democracy and they play theirs differently, but you will see people who belong to a political party for life. You see the Democrats, they are Democrats for life, and they build their beliefs, they build their membership around the ideology of the party. And whenever they are running elections, it's clear that this person is a Democrat. It's clear this is what they are about. And you see the other political party, you know, shooting ballistic missile at them with some of their ideologies that they feel may not be people-friendly, as it were. But in Nigeria, it's a function of defection from one point to another. And the person will still probably, if PDP, if APC becomes the ruling party, they will defect back to APC again and quote another issue with the PDP. What do you have to say to that?
You cannot, your observations or your question answers the question itself, or your analysis answers the question itself. In your build-up, you clearly stated that ideologies, is it that we don't have ideologies? If I ask you as a journalist who has the privilege of getting more information than the outside average Nigerian, what will you say is the ideology of the APC? You just gaze at me because it will be, I'm not supposed to ask questions. This is your section. But this is what it is. There's no ideology anywhere as far as political parties are concerned here in Nigeria. And if my memories are not failing me, the only stakeholder, the long-lasting politician that I would say had not had any reason or had any defection story to a large extent, there are no more than 4 or 5 on the, I mean, at the sphere of that got to the level of, say, governors and the stakeholders of a political party that have remained where they were for one reason or the other. The truth cannot be overemphasized. If in the other climes, people are accountable for decisions they take, and they take responsibility for affiliating themselves with funny political parties when their ideologies or their programs now fail. You could see the way Emersoni was when he was resigning. You saw you heard his speech. He made you understand that these were our plans, but obviously they were not in line with what the people want and what the modern day governance requires of our people. And automatically we have to leave. I have to bow out. But do not take it upon my compatriots who stood by me to do this or do that. But here in Nigeria, nobody is a fall guy. Everybody wants to shift the bulk of the blame to another person. Because politics here is, is stomach infrastructure driven. Everybody's just there to amass wealth and power to themselves. There's little or nothing we can say one of the political leaders are known for when it comes to ideology. In America today, you can talk about the American dream. Somebody will say this is the American dream. Somebody will say I want to die for my country as it is. In Nigeria today, that is not it. There are no accountability. Look at the chief security officer in charge of the entire rallies. You saw how she was grilled by Senator Green, and she was asked questions upon questions, and before she even made a responses, she was told from what's it called? From the way Amana handled the Trump assassination attempt, automatically she was a colossal failure and needed to tender that resignation instantly. They asked her, to what end would Charlie become a threat? When people were on the rally could see this person with a bag, with metals inside the bag, lying down, and he didn't consider those ones a threat until he pulled the trigger. So somebody as high as that level is being questioned and asked to resign in public glare. But here in Nigeria, nobody takes the fall because it is a sharing formula. If you talk about my flaws, I will dig yours out because I know yours, you know mine. That is the system we find ourselves. So it's not a question of ideology. It's a question of, Fela sang a song many years ago, say party government. It's a question of party government. We've done shady things before that are visible, shady things that I have proofs. And if you want to make a mess of me, I will just bring out the mess. And some of them have even gone to the level where they have moved on beyond your level. Even if you want to bring out their messes, they don't care. Today, as we sit here talking, we do not know by constitutional legal proceedings, unless we want to take it out on the less privileged or the poor. We do not know what forgery, as it is today, as a country, we don't know what forgery is. Today, as we speak today, by legal standards, we do not even know the status of Abuja in reference to elections because it's a party government, because it's a country of that ideologies, and there are no systems or institutions that can rise up to the occasion to ask questions. So when people defect, for me, there's a level you want to just get to in politics, and once you get there, come on, it's a wuru. You just keep turning around. You move from a political party to the other at your convenience. You can imagine what transpired. Okay, we were talking about defections here and there. We want to cite the case study of the Philip Shaibu defection. So it has to take Shamuli outside everybody to come out and say, whether you defect, you do not defect, this APC is not a party to accommodate fugitives. It's not the place to take disloyal people. Trying to make it people understand that, come on, there should be some sense of decorum, some sense of responsibility. The politicians in Nigeria today have little or no shame. You are here today, what brought you here? You say, oh, this party is not serious, they are doing this, they are doing that. Tomorrow, somebody gives you, everybody knows that you're giving a funny contract tomorrow, last night. Today, you come out to defect, you still have people on the street because of hunger and lack of ideology, even from Nigerian people who come out to still applaud you as leader, cheer you up and still keep running around you. And at the end of the day, what do you have to say? It's a system, it's a systematic failure programmed and orchestrated by the people that have been the architect of these issues that we've gotten, as that we're calling supposed leaders, because so far so good, we cannot really come out to point someone to say this is our political leader or a leader in our system, because one way or the other, it's a colossal failure when it comes to politics in Nigeria.
All right.